What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, I have some breaking news report, man, and it's yet, unfortunately, another injury. And it involves Anthony Edwards of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And according to Hamstring, Minnesota Timberwolves star Anthony Edwards will miss 2 weeks with a right hamstring strain. Once again, Anthony Edwards will miss 2 weeks with a right hamstring strain. And this is a change. Give me 1 second. This is a change from his status, because I think they're going to play the Nuggets. I think Edwards had taken himself out in the prior game because he felt some tightness, and he felt that he'd be good to go for their game. I think it's today against the Denver Nuggets. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but apparently he has a hamstring pull, and he'll be out for 2 weeks. Now, look, unlike a finger boo-boo with Luka, a hamstring pull is something that, barring, a playoff game 7 or something of that nature, or a very important playoff game, barring something like that, I don't advocate playing basketball with a hamstring pull. It's extraordinarily, it's almost impossible to play on. You're not going to be the same guy. You're not going to be able to do the same things out there in the basketball court. It's going to limit you a lot. Only, I think, in certain situations should you even go out there and try to play on that. So I'm not playing that. I'm not going to take that angle with this one. But what I will say is, what's causing all these injuries? And more importantly, why are all these guys getting hurt so early? And the thing that I just wonder is, why is it that so many players are getting hurt at the beginning of this season as opposed to in prior generations? And I can't help but think that some of it is the extraordinary pace in which they're playing compared to the pace of the 90s. That has something to do with it. The stopping and the starting, the way they move, kind of they move a lot laterally and get all the switching going on. And for the most part, at times, there's constant movement. Although you could argue sometimes these guys on offense sometimes are stationary, just kind of camping out at 3-point line. But, there is a lot of movement, especially on the defensive end. They play defense with their feet. And although they don't show, in my opinion, at times the same aggressiveness with defense, they do a lot of things with their legs. You can't hand check anymore. You can't be physical. But these guys do run around the court a lot. But I think a bigger culprit is these guys are not as ready for the rigors of an NBA season as the players in the past used to be, in my opinion. Number one, they didn't cut down on the preseason. I think preseason used to be 7-8 games or something like that. Now it's shortened. Why? Because these guys complained it was too grueling. They needed more time off. These guys get so much time off to the point where, look, a lot of these players, when they take the whole offseason off, they take the whole offseason off. Some of these guys come into training camp or come into the next season and they look overweight, and then they play themselves into shape, right? Now, sometimes some of these guys have injuries or a surgery And you can kind of understand them being a little bit out of shape, like Anthony Edwards, right? But then you see a James Harden, and you say, "What the fuck is that?" You know. Some of these guys, compared to players that I watched growing up, or even players that we saw 10, 15 years ago, a lot of those guys, they would get ready for the NBA season starting in September. They would do all their prep stuff starting about 2 months before the season would even start. Ray Allen, if I remember correctly, Ray Allen was infamous for that. Ray Allen didn't wait until October to start prepping for a season. He started his routines in September. And that's why he was able to play for as long as he played. When you include the fact that he also played college with UConn, right? So, yeah, like some of it, man, is you got to wonder what these guys are doing in the off season, you know? I mean, with Anthony Edwards, shit, you got to wonder why he pulled his hamstring. I mean, was it basketball or was there some other extracurricular activity he got himself involved in? I mean, I'm trying to be a little jokey joke right there, but still. God damn, man, it's frustrating. It's frustrating to see these guys get off to such great starts and all of a sudden they're hurt already. And I know injuries is part of basketball, injuries are part of sports, but damn. You guys are supposed to be so superior athletes to the players of the past, but why is it that Wilt Chamberlain and Oscar Robertson and Jerry West and Elgin Baylor, now Elgin Baylor missed a lot of games that year, but only because he was in the Army, right? But why is it that these guys are able to play in the fastest pace history of the game and they were able to still play 75, 80 games? Why is it they was able to play 40-some minutes a night playing on offense and defense? Why is it that these guys were honestly underpaid, making $75,000, $100,000 a year? These guys are getting paid 50, 60, approaching $70 million a year soon, and these guys can't even play 50 games a year. Why is that? It can't all be, it's the way the game is played. I mean, no, it can't just be that. There's something else going on, man. You know, I think some of it too is these doctors are overprotecting these players because of job security. That's part of it too. And if you're a player and you're asked not to play by doctors, right? Are you really gonna force it? Are you really gonna push the envelope on it? You know, most of these guys, they're fine with it. They're absolutely fine with it. They don't feel any obligation to go out there and play. I mean, if you guys really wanted to push the envelope on it, they could do it. But that's why these dudes I don't compare to the all-time greats, because I'm sorry. The league has to create rules to get these dudes to play. Like, not rules, excuse me, penalties. The league had to create penalties to get these guys to go out there and play. You know? But anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.